Namaste and welcome to my class for today. My name is Anvay Dixit and I'm the co-founder and yoga educator at Yogic Gurukul. I'm really excited to be taking this session for all of you today. And I think there's one thing that you should be very proud of for yourself, and that is that you're starting your journey with yoga and your yoga practice today. So that's something that you should be very happy about. That's something that you're doing very excellently well for yourself. And let's have a good session for the next half an hour together with our practice. So we always begin by chanting Om and centering ourselves for every practice. So I now request all of you to sit upright. You can have your hands in Gyan Mudra at your knees. Roll your shoulders up and back. And now slowly and gently close your eyes. Closing your eyes helps you switch off from the rest of the world and for some time going inward, drawing your awareness and attention towards your breath and paying attention to what your breathing is like right now. Notice if your breathing is slow or fast, deep or shallow, and just observe your breath to understand how fast or slow it is. While you're doing so, you might wonder why we focus on our breath in every class or in a yoga session. And the reason is that your breath is the only thing that is always with you till you're here. So it deserves our complete attention and focus. And the breath becomes a tool for better living or better life. So more awareness, more concentration, and the better your quality of breathing will be as well. Now, as you've been aware of your breath for 1 minute, let us continue for a few more moments and now consciously try to slow down our breath and bring ourselves in the right state of being for today's practice. Now slowly bring your hands in Namaste at the chest, and as I said, we'll chant Om together to begin this auspicious start for ourselves. So we'll chant Om 3 times and we'll do it together. Take a deep breath in. Once again, take a deep breath in. And a final time, take a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Slowly rub your palms together, create some warmth, and then gently place your palms on your eyelids and on your face. Feel the warmth and energy, and then very slowly and gently release your palms and gently open your eyes. Perfect. So that was the right beginning to our class and practice for today. And now with a bright smile, let's start with our first asana for the day. Alright, so it's very important to open up our back, neck and shoulders because that's the most important part of our posture. And often because we sit for long hours and because we don't have the best posture throughout the rest of the day, these areas become weak and we don't have the correct sitting position to practice. So let's do our first asana called Parvat Asana or the mountain pose. Bring your hands in Namaste at the chest. And then slowly and gently start to raise your hands up as high as you can. Once you're at the top, stay there, breathe well, and let's hold for 5 counts together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly and gently bring your hands down, back in front of your chest. Gently release your hands and relax. So that was your first asana. Now let's go to the second one. It's a modified version of Vakrasana or a twisting pose. So place your right hand on the left knee, left hand behind your back, gently twist to your left side, face in line with your left shoulder. Breathe well and let's hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly, gently come back to the center. Release your hands and now let's switch sides to go on the right. So the left hand goes on the right knee, right hand behind your back and gently twist to the right side. Breathe well once you're there and let's hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly and gently come back to the center. Release your hands and relax. Alright, now let's move on to our next pose or next posture. It's a modified version of Manduk Asana or frog pose. Now all the practices we're doing are excellent for better posture and better breathing eventually as a result of the better posture. So let's practice Manduk Asana together. For that, you're going to raise both your hands up this way. Then you place your right hand on the left shoulder at the back and the left hand on the right shoulder at the back. So you're crisscrossing at the back. Once you've done that, you'll notice your chest rising up automatically a little bit. And you can also sit slightly forward, pushing your back and chest forward as well. Try to have your face up because sometimes we tend to face down when we're doing this pose. And now let's continue holding the pose as we breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly stretch your left hand up, then your right hand up. Release your hands from the side and relax. Excellent. Very well done. Now let's move to our final pose in the sitting set of practices. Okay, we're going to keep our left hand on the mat on our left side. Raise the right hand up as much as you can. And then slowly bend to your left side as you exhale and feel the stretch on your right. So there's a stretch on the right and there's a pressure on the left. So feel that as you breathe and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly come back to the center. Gently release your right hand. And now place the right hand down. Raise your left hand up. Inhale and stretch. Exhale, bend to your right side. Now the stretch is on the left, the pressure is on the right. Breathe well, face in front, and have a smile on your face because you must enjoy your practice. Alright? 1, 2, you're doing very well so far. 3, 4, and 5. Slowly come back to the center. Gently release your left hand and relax. Wonderfully done so far. So great effort. And now let's transition to our next practice. Yes, the next one is going to be Marjari Asana or cat and cow pose. So let's come on to all fours for that. You can change your position by keeping your palms on the mat this way and your knees on the mat this way. Now what you need to check is that your knee and your hips are in the same line and that your wrist and your shoulder is in the same line, okay, on both sides. So once you're sure of that, once you've checked that, let's get ready to begin with the posture. We begin by inhaling, facing up and arching down. So there's a convex arch in your back. Then you exhale, take your chin to the chest and there's a concave arch in your back. Once again, inhale and up. Exhale and down. Inhale and up. Exhale and down. Excellent, you've got the hang of it. Inhale and up. Exhale and down. Last 2 times. Inhale and up. Exhale and down. Last one. Inhale and up. Exhale and down. Wonderfully done. Slowly fall back on your buttocks and your heels. Place your hands on the mat and try to keep your forehead down on the mat as well. Now while you're here, take a few deep breaths. Let your body relax. In case you're huffing and puffing, although that's unlikely, but in case you are, then catch your breath. Feel the changes in your body and then slowly with your hands come back to a sitting position and relax. So far we've done a great job. Now let's move on to our standing asans, and these are even better for our stretches and for opening up our body very nicely. So let's change our position, slowly standing up and coming to the center of your mat. Alright, so let's get started now with our standing practices. Bring your feet together at the center first. See that your toes and your heels are touching each other. Hands by the side of your body like you're standing at attention. If you remember at school, we would stand this way when our PT sirs would tell us to do this. And so we're doing something similar even in our yoga practice because it keeps your body upright and at attention straight. Alright, now let's start with our first asana. It's a simple one known as Tad Asana. So you're going to stretch both your hands up this way, palms facing each other. And at the same time, you're going to come onto your toes as well. Alright. Now balancing might be a little tricky. So what you can do is you can pick a point in front of you. Gaze at that point as you're trying to maintain the balance. And it allows your mind to have something to focus on, which keeps it from wavering and allows the balance to be steady. Now let's hold together for 5 counts. Keep breathing. Remember, the breathing doesn't stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly and gently bring your heels down. Bring both hands down and relax. Great job. In case you're shifting here and there, it's okay, don't worry about it. What we must do is, if we do fall or we go here and there, then we should gracefully come back into the position once again. Sometimes I know we become the Leaning Tower of Pisa, But that's okay initially when you're learning. Eventually, you'll get it right with practice. All right. Now let's move on to our next asana. We're going to do a twisting pose in the standing set as well. So bring both hands in front. And this is a simple twisting stretch for your body. All right. Now slowly and gently with your inhalation, twist to your left side. Place your right hand folded this way at your chest and let the left hand be straight at the back. Now you're going to gaze at your left thumb and breathe well as you do so. And let's hold the pose together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly and gently come back to the center. Wonderfully done. Let's now go on the other side. Once again, inhale and stretch. Face in line with the right shoulder. Gaze at your right thumb. Breathe well. And let's hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly and gently come back. Bring both hands down and relax. Great job. Take a moment to pause, have your hands open and take a deep breath in and slowly a deep breath out. Wonderful. Let's now do our final practice in the standing pose. You're going to have your hands interlocked at the back this way. Then you're going to straighten your hands out this way. So you will feel your back getting a great stretch, the scapulas touching each other and your chest jutting out a little bit. Okay, this is excellent for good posture. Now bend back slightly the way I am. Face up, breathe well. Let's hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly back to the center. Gently release your hands and relax. Excellent. All right. And keeping in mind that we're trying to do a very nice and crisp practice, let's proceed to our next set of asanas. Now for this, you're going to come back on your mat and then you're slowly going to change over to your lying down position. So with me, you can now slowly lie down on your back, straighten your legs, and let's do a mini shavasana to begin with before we proceed. Now while you're here, let's catch our breath, rest and relax, and let the body get ready for the next practice. Let your breathing come back to normal. And at the same time, let your body get used to being in the lying down position. Now keeping both feet together, the way I am, palms facing flat on the mat, hands by the side of your body, let's get ready to do our first asana in the lying down pose. The first one is going to be Ardha Pavan Muktasana or half wind release posture. Alright. For this, you're going to bend your left knee first, keeping the right foot and right leg still straight. Then bring your left leg closer to your abdomen. Interlock your fingers and bring your knee as close to your chest and abdomen as possible. Once you've done that, slightly raise your head up. If you don't have a blood pressure problem or a neck problem, then you can do this freely, otherwise avoid it. And try to touch your nose to your knee. Once you're there, breathe well and have a smile on your face even if you're feeling the pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly and gently come back. Release your hands. Slowly straighten the leg. And relax. Let's now switch to the other side. Bending your right knee, keeping the left leg straight. Bring your right knee closer to your chest. Interlock your fingers. Bring your right knee now as close as possible. Again, if possible, raise your head up. But remember, if you have blood pressure problems or any other cervical or neck related problems, avoid doing this. You can keep your head down and do the same pose this way. And if you can raise your head closer. Now breathe well. Let's hold together for 1, 2, 3. Feel the pressure on the abdomen. 4 and 5. Slowly and gently come back. Release your hands. Straighten your right leg. And relax. Take a short pause. Catch your breath. And now let's get ready for our next pose. Alright, so you're going to bend both your knees this time. Keep your feet on the mat. Try to touch your fingertips to your heels. And in case you know this pose, then you must have guessed it right. It's called Suub Bandasana or bridge pose. So Suub Bandasana is a complementary asana to Pavan Muktasana. And it is done because it gives you the opposing pressure on the back. So let's do it together. You're going to inhale and lift your hips and lower back off the mat as per your capacity, as much as your body allows. And once you're there at the top, let's hold and breathe for 5 counts together. 1. Feel that stretch and pressure in the lower back. 2. 3. Your body is thanking you in every asana because you're doing something that is good for it, like we're doing right now as well. 4. And the last one, 5. Very slowly and gently come back. Release your hands, straighten the legs and relax. Excellently done. And now catch your breath and release. So that was Suub Bandasana or bridge pose. Setu meaning bridge. Alright, now let's go to our last asana in this set. And the last one is one of my favorites. It's called Kati Vasan, also known as Kati Chakrasana in some schools, but we refer it as Kati Vasan. So it's a twisting pose while you're on your back, and you're going to have your hands parallel to your shoulders this way. Then you're going to bring your feet together and bend both your knees once again. Alright, keeping the knees together, feet together. And remember that when your hands are parallel to your shoulders like mine are, your palms should be facing up. Alright? And now you're going to feel an excellent twist in your trunk, in your upper body frame, and it's going to be really amazing for the oblique muscles and for any locks and blocks to get released in that area. Alright, so now take both your knees to the left side like I am, and take your face to the right side like I have. Alright, once you're there, keep breathing. And let's hold this Kati Vasan twist. When you're breathing, let your stomach fully go out and let it fully come back in. And as you feel the twist, feel the locks and blocks getting released. You may even hear a crack or two, and that's a good one because it really eases out the muscles in that area. As you breathe well, there's also a therapeutic massage happening in the internal organs. So make sure you breathe fully and completely. And as my father jokingly says, that there's no tax on breathing, so jitna saans lena hai utna bhar ke leo. It's better for you. Alright, and now we're done with our 5 counts almost. Slowly come back to the center and let's get ready to practice the same thing on the other side. So now your legs will go to the right and your face to the left. Remember, feet together, knees together. In case your shoulder is rising up, just bring it down. And if it's stiff right now, then don't worry, it will get open with more practice. Alright, breathe well. Let's hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very slowly and gently come back to the center and relax. Alright, and that was an excellent practice of Kati Asana. Okay, one of my favorites, and I hope you enjoyed it equally as much as I do. Alright, now we're going to turn to our left side. Lie down in a fetal position for a short while, keeping your left hand as a pillow, right hand on your thighs or hips this way, and taking a short break or a relaxation before we proceed for our breathing practices. Alright? Take a few deep breaths. And then slowly using your right hand for support, take a sitting position this way, and it's very important that we get up the right way as well so that there's no pressure on our body or the spine. Alright? And now that we're upright in a sitting position once again, let's get ready to practice some of our breathing practices together. Once again, hands in Gyan Mudra at the knees, eyes gently closed, and let's pay attention to what the next practices are. So the next few practices are in the category of breathing and pranayama. Some practices are pranayamic practices which involve a pause in the breathing, and some practices are simply cleansing practices which are important to prepare you for your pranayama. So we're going to do our first one known as Kapal Bhati. It's very simple, but again, if you have a BP problem or a hypertension problem, then I would say avoid the practice. We'll keep it very short and simple so that we can proceed to the pranayama as well. Alright? So we're going to begin with Kapal Bhati, which is a forceful exhalation of breath which allows you to cleanse your lungs. Any excess or residual air that gets left in the lungs, we often sometimes don't breathe correctly. And so to have a complete exhalation, we allow ourselves to release the air through that. So through Kapal Bhati, any residual air remaining goes out of the lungs. So let's understand the technique. We continuously exhale or release the air through our nose, and we keep the same rhythm going throughout that exhalation practice. So there's no inhalation. You directly begin this way. And that's how the practice is done. So it's a continuous exhalation from the nose, and automatically through the force, your tummy or your abdomen moves a little bit, but we don't have to intentionally do that. And we just focus on blowing air out of the nose. Now, an example for that would be the way we clean our nose when there's some dirt or when there's mucus in the nose. Or if you were to take another example, is when we blow a candle, right? Now imagine you have to blow the candle with your nose. It's the same thing except the medium is different. So there's a continuous or a forceful exhalation of air, and then that continues at the same rhythm. So remember, the rhythm should not change either. Now let's practice 2 more rounds together, and we're going to do 10 exhalations or 10 strokes in each. Let's get ready for round 2. Now, when you inhale after Kapal Bhati, you'll feel it's already a lot fresher and better than before. Okay, and that was the second one. Let's now also do our third round together. Feel the after effects of the practice. Allow fresh air to go in and out of your nostrils. And now let's transition to our second last practice of the session, known as Nadi Shodan Kriya. Now, Nadi Shodan is also alternate nostril breathing, and in some schools it's also called Anulom Vilom. We call it Nadi Shodan because it is a cleansing practice of both the nostrils, or a balancing practice of both the nostrils. The intention is to make sure that both nostrils function equally well, provided that your nostrils are already clean. Alright, so let's understand how we do it. You have your right hand in a Vishnu Mudra. The first two fingers are closed, and the ring finger, pinky finger, and your thumb will be in use. Alright, now we're going to close our right nostril with our right thumb. Take a deep breath in through the left. Then close the left nostril, open the right, exhale. Inhale through the right now. Close the right nostril and exhale. Once again, inhale. Close the left nostril, exhale, open the right. Now inhale through the right. Close the right nostril and exhale through the left. Slowly release your right hand. Come back to your normal breathing. Take a deep breath. And feel the after effects of the practice. Let's now move to our final practice for today, and that is Bhramari Pranayama, or the humming bee sound. This one is my personal favorite once again because it really helps in quietening the mind, and there are studies that prove that this sound of the humming bee which we create gives a distraction to the mind or something else to focus on, which then allows it to be a little more steady with its thoughts and a little more calm and quiet. So let's do it together. We're going to make the humming bee sound, but our hands will remain in Gyan Mudra. Again, this is a variation of the practice. Some schools also have this position, but for today, we will have just the Gyan Mudra, and we'll do 3 rounds together. Alright, now close your eyes, take a deep breath. Once again, take a deep breath in. And the last time, take a deep breath in. You notice this pause. There's a natural pause or moment of silence that comes after the practice. Carry that restful energy of that pause and the good vibrations with you through the rest of your day. Let the eyes remain closed as we get ready to end today's class. let us reflect upon all the practices that we've done so far. We started with our sitting movements, asans and warm-up. Then we went to the standing set of practices, asans and warm-up. And then we did a lying down position as well. The lying down positions consisted of various asans, and that was followed by our breathing practices that we did right now. It's important to reflect upon what you've done to keep those benefits and good feelings as well as constructive or improvement related feelings in your mind with relation to your practice. And now let us move towards the conclusion of this session by bringing our hands in Namaste at the chest, and we chant one Om and 3 Shantis together for conclusion. Take a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Slowly rub your palms together, create some warmth. Then gently place your palms on your eyelids and your face. Feel the warmth and energy, and then very slowly and gently open your eyes and relax. So that was just a glimpse of what a session with us would look like. And I'm really glad that all of you have practiced this if you've reached the end of the video. And it's a great step that you're taking towards your health, towards your own well-being, and towards starting your yoga journey. So I'm really glad we could do this, and we'll see you in our next video. Until then, keep practicing, and remember that yoga isn't just a 30 or 60-minute class. It's how you live your 24 hours of your life and your day. Have a great rest of the day, and see you in the next class or in the next video. Namaste.